Yes, yes, exactly. Hi, this is Dina Dodd Perry, founder of Pop and Go TV. We have a wonderful show here today. We have all things from Chicago going all the way to the Emmys. And we have Marcus.
And I'm celebrity makeup artist Marcus Jeter. And we're really excited to be here today. We're with designer Mark Roscoe. And I'm especially excited and proud because Mark happens to be one of my dear and very long-time friends. And he's going to be designing a beautiful dress for Alice Amter. She is a star of the television series The Big Bang Theory. He's going to be designing this dress for the 68th annual Emmy Awards that will be coming up on September 18th on ABC. So we're very, very excited to be here with you, Mark.
Yeah,
and by the way, before we
exciting is
start, I just have to tell you,
What?
Mark and Dina, you
What?
guys look fabulous.
Well, thank you.
And all I have
Thank
to
you
say
very-
is, hey.
Excellent, that's wonderful. So, Mark, I have a question for you. How did your connection with Alice begin?
Well, it started 2 years ago. I
Uh-huh.
hosted a trunk show at the Beverly Hilton Hotel.
Oh, wow.
Alice was on our guest list when
Yeah.
she arrived, and we had a great connection. She's a wonderful woman to
Yeah,
work with.
yeah.
And she really liked a lot of the garments that were on display there. And she said to me, if I ever have an opportunity to walk the red carpet, I'm going to give you a call. And so
Awesome.
2 weeks ago, we received a phone call and we
Yes.
started assembling our team, and we have a very talented team. We put together a hair and makeup team. John Gabriel from Fletcher Smith, a salon in LA. Nicole Machini from LA, she's a phenomenal makeup artist.
Yeah.
And Valerie Madvick from Multibella Jewels is also part of our home team,
Yeah.
is also designing the jewelry for the event. So we're really excited about it.
And I love Valerie's work. Her work is so pretty.
She's
She
a
does the most
talented
beautiful
designer.
jewelry.
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
she's great.
Really good.
Great,
I
great.
can't
She has a
wait
great
to
eye.
see this.
She has a very good eye.
So
Very
excited.
detailed.
Yeah.
So tell me, could you share with our viewers your philosophy as it relates to beauty and fashion?
Well, I'm a firm believer that fashion comes from within.
Yes,
But
yes.
there's a direct correlation between feeling good about yourself and how you look
Yes.
and how you feel on the inside. And so, our process is to try to bring out that inner beauty because that is really what shows the garment.
Yeah.
And so my philosophy is every woman should have an opportunity to look as good as they can. And so that's what we do. And it's kind of interesting when we start the design process. I have kind of an image after meeting the person initially, but
Yeah,
as I get to know them
absolutely.
through
Yeah.
designing with them,
Right.
it's a very intimate process.
Yeah.
The garment the design actually begins to evolve, and it takes on a much different character than what we originally started with,
Right.
because you get to know the inner beauty of the person for whom you're designing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So Mark, can you tell us how do you approach? What is your way of approaching celebrities? What is your
Process?
system, your process?
as far as designing for them,
Designing for them.
well, clearly it depends on the event for which we're designing. If it's a red carpet event, the question is, what event is it? A Grammy dress is going to be different than an Oscar dress, different than an Emmy dress.
Okay.
What role they're playing, whether they're presenting, whether they're going to after parties. So
Yeah.
one of the big things with designing for the red carpet is a lot of the garments are impractical then to wear afterwards. When you
Yeah.
have long trains on them,
Yeah.
and they're going to
Right.
parties and everyone's stepping on them, and so
Right.
it's getting a feel for really
So
what
true.
the evening
Yeah.
looks like from beginning to end, and that kind of then governs the design that we ultimately create for them.
And do they have are they allowed to have a lot of input in,
They have
the
as much
design
input as the
process?
designer will allow.
Okay.
Ultimately, the selection of the garment is either done by the stylist or manager or the celebrity themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we have direct contact with Alice. She contacted us directly. She's been part of the design process.
That's great.
A joy to work with.
Awesome.
And she has a very strong sense of style. She knows what she wants. She knows what
That's
looks good on
great,
her.
yeah.
And so designing for someone like that makes the project even easier.
Oh, absolutely. I am always curious when I meet people who are so creative like you. What was your inspiration as a child? Sort of sparked that interest in fashion design.
Well, I started off as an art major in school and I ended up being a lawyer.
okay.
So figure that out.
Yeah.
But from a design standpoint, it started kind of organically. My mom was a plus-size woman, and she always had difficulty finding
Yeah.
garments off the rack, and
Mhm.
it used to break my heart when she would come home from a shopping trip, empty-handed,
Yeah.
tears rolling down her face. And I thought I could either sit back and complain about the designers who weren't meeting that
Yeah.
segment of our community, or I could do something about it. So I purchased a sewing machine, taught myself how to sew.
Oh,
That's
how
cool.
heartwarming
I know.
And I
is
started
that?
making clothes for my mom. And which was great because again, once she started feeling better about how she looked on the outside, that started translating on how she viewed herself from the inside, taking better care of herself.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Mom contracted cancer, and she later succumbed to it.
I'm
And
so
so,
sorry.
thank you. She's she's still part of our design process and part of our lives, and we feel her presence every day. But we decided to give back to different cancer organizations in Chicago in memory of our mom. And so a large part of the proceeds that we generate from the sale of our garments go to different cancer organizations.
How
And we
beautiful.
partnered with a Silver Lining Foundation founded by Dr. Sandy Goldberg. And they are a great organization, and we participate in their fall gala in October, and then we do a spring show for them, a benefit with our fashions and other designers' fashions at the Peninsula Hotel. And so it's twice a year that we try to give back in some way to at least that organization, but also to other organizations in the Chicagoland area.
That's great. So Mark, I know you're very well known for designing neckwear for men. Are you still doing that?
We certainly are. In fact, this is one of my pieces from our
Awesome.
collection.
Thank
you.
Always looks nice.
We've been very fortunate to have our neckwear picked up by many of the celebrities: William Shatner, Joe Piscopo, Paul Sorvino, Syed Bedrea, Iyad Hajij, who are wearing our neckwear, Jim Brickman, to name a few. And then we started designing men's suits and tuxedos. In fact, last year we had the opportunity to dress Keegan-Michael Key for the Creative Emmys and the Primetime Emmys.
Yeah, I saw
from head to toe.
It was fantastic.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
It was really beautiful. And Mark, you know what? When I can afford you, I would hope you would design something for me, but I don't know if they're ready for all of it. I don't know if you're ready for it. You need a lot of material for that, okay? But I hope so.
You are good. You're really
look
good.
forward to designing it.
Yeah. Just shifting gears, I hear that you have some garments in an upcoming film. So tell us all about that.
We had an opportunity. We received a phone call through my publicist, Joanne Fakori. Iyad Hajij, who was a producer, actor in LA, was beginning the production of his new film, Dreams I Never Had. And he asked if I would participate. It's scheduled for release this fall. It's an amazing film. It's about human trafficking, but there's a love story twist to it, and so it has a happy ending, but a very relevant issue in today's world. And so he asked whether I would be willing to provide the wardrobe for the show. And so it stars Malcolm McDowell, Robin Givens, Iyad Hajij. And so the men will be wearing our neckwear. And there are several women who are in the show who will be wearing our gowns. Galasa Sarabi and also Fidelia Grace will be wearing some of our female garments.
That's really
this
great.
garment in the back here is one of the garments that is in the movie. So we're looking forward to it.
Did you enjoy doing the costuming for me?
You know,
it's a different process.
It's a much different process,
Yeah.
and especially because they are marketing it not only to the U.S. but in Europe and also to the Arab world, and so there are restrictions with respect to body parts that can be shown, arms and shoulders, and so to that extent, you had that restriction. But also then you're developing for a character. It's not just a beautiful gown. It's about a character who's going to be wearing that in her specific personality and role, and so that designing takes on a much different dimension than designing for a typical client. So it kind of stretched my imagination a little bit.
Yes,
Was it fun?
absolutely.
It was
amazing.
So fun.
The production team was amazing. Iyad is just an extremely talented actor, producer. Was very welcoming to our new talent to the industry, and
It's a big difference.
it was, and so we're thrilled to have it released again earlier this fall.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about some of the elements of the dress? I know you can't show us the dress; it's a big secret. But can you tell us about the elements of the dress?
It is an empire waist dress. She is a very voluptuous woman, and she's a woman of stature, and so she wears a garment beautifully. She's really curvy, and so we created a bodice that has the Italian lace. It's a black Italian lace over a tan Duchess satin, and then the body of the dress is a black Duchess satin, finishing off in a mermaid, which is a silk organza. And so we carried the beading in the bodice area, which I have illustrated here.
That's really pretty.
This is the silk organza that appears on the bottom, and then the black Duchess.
That's really pretty.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. And I know you have this beautiful jewelry here that Valerie designed, and Valerie's here with us.
Yes.
And Valerie, can you come on in?
My sister,
This is
Valerie.
really beautiful, Val.
Thank you.
And what you're wearing today, did you design that
Yes,
too?
I did.
That's really pretty.
Yes, gorgeous.
What you have on too. Very, very pretty.
Beautiful lady.
good to have her part of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly.
Mark Roscoe, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart to you for taking time out of your busy schedule to share with all of our viewers from all over the world, Chicago, New York, LA, the UK, and Spain. We thank you for tuning in to Pop and Go TV today.
And as always, we want to thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for supporting Pop and Go Television. And please do not forget to watch the 68th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards, September 18th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on ABC. We'll see that beautiful gown created by Mark Roscoe for Alice Emter on the red carpet.
And like we always say here at Pop and Go TV, is be happy, be healthy, and most importantly, be helpful. That's what we do here at Pop and Go TV.
Thank you.
See you on the red carpet.
Everybody.